What kind of job did the jurors do in the defamation trial of Johnny Depp and Amber Heard? Were people happy with the way Judge Penney Azcarate handled things? Did people agree to the steps she took during the trial? How did the jury and the attorneys react to possibly fabricated evidence by Heard? We are going to find the answers to all the aforementioned questions in this video. As we all know that this trial was televised at the orders given by Judge Penney Azcarate. Some people were in support of the decision, and some of them were critical of it. Viewership increased exponentially as the trial went on, according to Law and Crime, which live-streamed the entire thing. When Depp took the stand on Wednesday, live viewership on its channel peaked at 1,247,163, more than twice the peak during his initial testimony in April. And over the last several weeks, trial clips have become inescapable on social media, as mashups of Depp's reaction shots have spread around the world. Heard's team tried unsuccessfully to exclude the cameras from the trial. At a pre-trial hearing on February 25th, attorney Elaine Bredehoft noted that there was already tremendous media attention as well as interest from, quote, fearful anti-Amber networks, unquote. Quote, what they'll do is take anything that's unfavorable. A look, Bredehoft said. They'll take out of context a statement and play it over and over and over and over again, unquote. Depp's lawyer, Ben Chu, however, welcomed the cameras. He said that Heard had already, quote, trashed Depp in the media and should not be allowed to hide at trial. He said, quote, Mr. Depp believes in transparency. In weighing the issue, Azcarate noted that she was getting a lot of media requests, and she had a responsibility to keep the proceedings open to observers. If cameras were not allowed, she worried that reporters would come to the courthouse, potentially creating a hazardous condition there. While talking about the cameras, Judge Penney said, quote, I don't see any good cause not to do it, unquote. Allowing gavel-to-gavel coverage has given viewers the chance to see all the evidence, assess the credibility of the witnesses, and make up their own minds without having anything filtered out by news outlets. But some observers worry that Azcarate's decision will also have a chilling effect on victims of domestic violence. Michelle Dauber, a professor at Stanford Law School, said, quote, allowing this trial to be televised is the single worst decision I can think of in the context of intimate partner violence and sexual violence in recent history. It has ramifications way beyond this case, unquote. Michelle Simpson-Tugel, an attorney who has represented victims of sex offenses in high-profile cases, said that her clients often don't even want their real names used in public court filings. Now she worries that they will have to fear appearing on a live-stream broadcast. She said, quote, they see someone who is not only being televised, but is being taken apart in such a hateful way. Live streaming it is really just a way to magnify what survivors are going through. I'm saddened and disgusted by how it is going to create a discourse of scaring people from seeking justice and speaking out about what they've been through, unquote. Bredehoft argued that Heard is a victim of sexual assault and that, therefore, cameras should be disallowed. Azcarate did not accept that reading of the statute, finding the rule does not apply to civil cases. Although this decision was criticized by people who are connected to the law, at the same time, it was appreciated by millions around the world. During the trial, Heard was not really the favorite person of the jurors. She was caught lying multiple times, and some of the evidences she provided were fabricated as well. A juror from the panel in Johnny Depp and Amber Heard's case has just broken his silence over everything that happened behind the scenes inside the courtroom. After voicing their desire for anonymity, the juror offered shocking insights and began by saying, quote, so today was my last day of being a juror on the Amber Heard-Johnny Depp trial, and I wish to remain anonymous, but I thought I'd give some insight on my thoughts about the trial. I don't follow pop culture too much, so I really haven't been a fan of Johnny Depp or Amber Heard, so I felt I was able to be pretty unbiased about the whole thing. But from the very beginning, when Amber Heard was testifying, everything just seemed so off with how she kept making eye contact with me, unquote. He went as far as to admit, quote, it made me extremely uncomfortable to where I would no longer look over at her when she was giving her answers. I would just listen intently, and everything she was saying came off like expletive, unquote. He also went on to note that while he had no access to social media during the start of the trial, when he did go back, quote, every single person seemed to be commenting on how weird it was, unquote. It was also speculated during the trial that Amber Heard could face jail over claims she edited injury photographs as evidence against Johnny Depp. Defamation lawyer Aaron Mink warned that, quote, more and more objective evidence that she is lying about things under oath, unquote, could lead to a sentence for the Aquaman actress. Despite telling website Joe a few days ago he didn't think there was any chance Heard could face prosecution for anything she had said on the stand during her ex-husband Depp's defamation trial, Mink admitted to having a change of heart as the case hurtled towards its conclusion. He said, quote, "I think that as this case goes on and we start seeing more and more objective evidence that she is lying about things under oath," he added, "that's when it starts crossing the line into the possibility that she is fabricating evidence, fabricating photos, fabricating bruises, altering evidence, and then submitting it," unquote. Mink warned fabricating evidence is not only, quote, "really serious, but also really offensive to the justice system." He said, quote, "I would hope that prosecutors would take a close look at it because if there is very clear evidence that she did that, that should certainly be considered," unquote. Quote, "If it was proven that that was the case," he added, "and there are certainly some questions being raised in the trial currently, that could potentially lead to a criminal prosecution and jail time," unquote. When asked if he can see police investigating claims she may have lied under oath about donating her $7 million, he added, quote, "Yes, I think so. While it may not be a central issue in the case, perjury is the single biggest threat and cuts to the core of our justice system. So the police may be invited to investigate to show that any member of the public who lies to the court can be prosecuted for perjury," unquote. Fake photos were a huge part of this trial, and the topic was brought up on multiple occasions in court. Johnny Depp's lawyer also said that Amber Heard had photoshopped images to make it appear that she had suffered injuries at the hands of her former husband. Ms. Vasquez accused Heard of, quote, "editing photographs," claiming she enhanced the saturation in some of the images to make her face appear more red. Heard denied the allegations, insisting, quote, "No, I didn't touch it," unquote. The court was shown two different photos of Heard's face taken on May 2016, with one image lighter than the other. Heard testified that she took the images in, quote, "different lightings," saying she believes one of the images was taken in the daytime and one at the night. She said that she believes she had a vanity mirror light on in one of the images. Depp's attorney continued, claiming that police officers who responded to the couple's home that night testified they did not see any visible injuries on Heard's face at the time. The attorney told Heard that their testimony was, quote, "inconvenient for her." Judge Penney even had to reject the evidence provided by Heard once or twice just because it was not valid or it was just not eligible to be provided in court. There is a reason Amber Heard got to face a lot of mockery and criticism during the trial. What's your take on this? Do leave your valid opinion in the comment box and stay tuned for more.